by request, here's what I've learned in my lucid dreaming practice when it comes to meditating in them. And the short and sweet of it is that it's potentially like super duper awesome, particularly if you're going for some of the more ineffable type peak meditative experiences. And I think the way James Bray describes in his book, The New Frontiers of Lucid Dreaming, hits the nail on the head, where it says being a novice by day makes one a master by night. And for whatever reason, it seems like if you have the basics of meditating down in your waking life and you give it a try in your lucid dream, it can pretty reliably not just serve up some, potentially really powerful meditation experiences, but it can also just make it seem a lot easier to do. Or say on the low end, if you're just following your breath, well, I can make that seem a whole lot easier than it can seem to, especially new people starting out in the practice. Where I know it also has the added benefit of oftentimes stabilizing the dream around you, where one of my go-to ways to stabilize the dream around me is I'll do a sort of walking meditation where I'll look at my feet as I'm walking the dream environment, and I'll repeat this phrase, "This is my floor," and it works really great for me to stabilize the dream around me. And then on the high end, you can have, for lack of a better term, but feel like enlightenment experiences, and like whatever that means to you. So say like whatever your idea is of what a master monk can achieve after a lifetime of practice of sitting in the Himalayas, right? You can essentially have that. Like, even if you don't know exactly every detail or maybe like even any detail of what that experience would be like, but you have that kind of thought or expectation towards it, you meditate in the dream, and that can absolutely serve up that type of experience to you, with barely any practice, right? You just only have the basics down in your waking life, and you can have what feels like this really enlightenment, like aha moment within dream space if you meditate in your dreams. But so how does it work out for me? Well, I guess first of all, I have a very broad definition of what meditation means. I basically just look at it as purposefully locking your awareness to something and then keeping it there, right? And then not getting lost up in the thought of it as well after that. So it's not too unlike, say, a regular dream versus a lucid dream. I guess in this case, more like you already are lucid, and so I do see lucid dreaming as a form of meditation in itself, but you have to keep that perspective and not get wrapped up in the thought again, in the narrative of what's going on, because then it'll just turn your lucid dream back into a regular dream. However, I know that's not really what we're talking about here, so I'll generally look at it two ways, right? You do it with your eyes open or with your eyes closed. If I do an open eye meditation, it's generally as a way to stabilize the dream around me, like that walking meditation I told you. I also do this one that I just call like the active staring technique, but it's similar to doing an open eye meditation that you'd be doing in your waking life. You focus on an area of the dream. It's a very active focus though, as you're like keeping it and you're trying to intensify the clarity of whatever it is you're looking at. Also works really great at stabilizing the dream. And then a little bit off topic, but sometimes I'll do like basically metta styles of meditation. And really, you can focus on any emotion, but say I'm doing like love and compassion meditation within a dream, and then I'll just like to see how that, pretty much immediately, as long as you can keep your awareness on there for any, short length of time, it really immediately starts to influence the dream around you. So I was doing this one time, and then this girl walks up, right? This female character, and when she comes up, I had the idea, because she was very cute, of doing something else, but I was like, wait, no, I'm focusing on this whole love and compassion thing. And then like we embraced in this like spontaneous huge hug and started rolling down this grassy hill together. It's kind of funny, but I had a very strong sense of like love and support in that moment. It was, it was kind of like the peak feelings of what love is. It was kind of weird, but nonetheless, other times I'll do that and I'll just get the strong sense of, love and support from the dream characters around me, or sometimes just from like the dream itself in general. There's this other time, I didn't purposefully do this initially to start off, but I started to get this strong sense of love and compassion, and like my wife and then her sister were there to give me like this crazy foot and hand massage, which was cool. But then this ended up progressing to like the peak form of it. I was like this little baby looking up that, well, I took in the moment to be like my parents and my siblings, although I haven't read this dream journal in a long time. Like, it wasn't just my brother. I think it was like my brother and a sister, and I don't have a sister, but anyway, I had this strong sense of like the love that like parents have towards their children, which is cool, because like I feel that, towards my kids, but it's been a long time since I felt that from my end. So it was a nice, it's like I got to experience that again, which was very cool. But anyway, that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about the main forms of meditation. So doing closed eye meditations, right? So for me, the way that generally works is, also be careful that if you do a closed eye meditation in your dreams, it can cause the dream to break down and cause you to wake up. However, it is very possible just to find something else, within this dream experience to lock your awareness to besides the visual. So for me, I'll focus on like the physical body sensations that I'm feeling in my dream body. But the way it normally goes when I'm doing it, and it works well, it doesn't always work well. Sometimes I close my eyes and just wake up right away. But I'll sit down, right, to do the meditation, and then quickly, like it doesn't take long, it tends to, if it's gonna work, it works fast, like within seconds. I'll get this really strong sucking or pulling up sensation going on. accompanied by like a really intense body high to go along with it. And, you know, it's a very powerful experience. Like, I'm probably not doing a good job describing it, but it does almost feel like it'd be a form of, you know, like touching at enlightenment. But anyway, the blanked out visuals don't stay for long. Typically, some sort of visuals will come in. Normally lights, like it won't be like a full-on normal scene. What I see most of the time is I'll see like streaking lights going by as if, you know, I'm being pulled or rocketing upwards. And then not too long after that, I'll enter into a new dream scene. So it's a good way to kind of just teleport and change dream environments as well. And actually, last time I did this, and I haven't specifically focused on meditating in my dreams for years. Like when I was first getting into the practice, that was a big focus of mine. But nowadays, I just never dream incubate the idea deep enough to have it ever cross my mind when I do get lucid. However, several months ago, I was like showing off to my wife doing these backflips, and then it crossed my mind to try and meditate because I was messaging this person about it on the channel. And then I sat down to do it, and I closed my eyes, and it kind of caught me off guard because even though I felt like I closed my dream eyes, the dream environment didn't black out. And I had this moment of like complete absolute stillness, but it was still accompanied by a very similar strong body. I had to go along with it. And then that kind of caught me off guard, and then essentially woke up out of it. But nonetheless, it was kind of uneventful. But meditating in your dreams is super awesome. Definitely something you should try if you haven't tried it yet in your practice. It's basically a must. Like anybody who lucid dreams with any consistency and is taking their practice seriously, you have to try meditating in it. And it's something that I should honestly be doing more of, but you know, I like to do other shit. Anyway, so that'll wrap it up. Thanks for the question or the recommendation. And until the next video, keep your meditation practice and your lucid dreaming practice legit.